think we can start the presentation. We've got 25 members joined, and people are more than welcome to join as we continue with the presentation. So you're all very welcome. My name is Paul O'Prey.
Yeah. Paul,
Hi, Theo.
let me
Yeah.
to introduce you, please.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, good evening, everyone. How are you? I know that we have professionals from different departments, from different careers, and we prepare this presentation for you. Good evening, everyone, once more. And also we have professionals from linguistics here, and I will introduce Paul. I have here his bio. Let me please read it. Wait a moment. Yeah, here I have. So Paul O'Prey holds a BSc Honors in Communication with Consulting, MA in Education, specialism in English language teaching, a diploma in Education and Training, professional teaching status. And also he is a CABA assessor certified as AQA examiner in Cambridge English speaking examiner. He is currently pursuing a PhD at University de Castilla-La Mancha, says, applying a critical sociolinguistic ethnography approach to explore CL clearly, we can say CLIL, professional development in Castilla-La Mancha. He is research examinist teacher. He also preparedness, training, effectiveness, and systematic challenge to improve bilingual education outcomes. So with more than 15 years in language education and 5 years in financial sales, he has taught students from more than 50 countries, both online and at UK-based international schools, private Spanish language academic and semi-private bilingual school in Spanish. His passion for language teaching started after volunteering as a teacher to underprivileged students in Palestine. Paul currently works as an executive level English language tutor and teacher trainer, delivering tailored language and communication training to global professionals and supporting UK and Spanish-based educators and gaining teaching qualification and improving bilingual teaching techniques. So welcome to Bolivia, Paul. It's nice to know about your bio. You have a lot of experience, and we are learning this night as well about your experience. So welcome to Bolivia once again. Welcome to UPEAS University. Here we have the linguistic career, and also we have, we can say, the department language, where we teach English, Aymara, and also French. We teach a lot of foreign language, not a lot of 5 foreign languages, and among these we have English and Aymara, that is our native language. So now we want to know about you. Paul, you can start.
Thank you very much, Theo, for the introduction, and a very big welcome to everybody who is joining us for this presentation. This evening, we currently have 34 people connected to the presentation. So the theme of today's or this evening's talk is how English can support your professional career. The duration will be probably a maximum of 90 minutes, a little bit shorter depending on our interactions and questions and progress. I would like this to be interactive. So if I do ask questions, please feel free to communicate with me as well as write answers in the chat also. So to start, let's look first of all at what we're going to cover this evening. So we're going to start by talking a little bit about me and my background, followed by why English, why now? How is English the global connector, the global bridge, how it interrelates with business and opportunities and academic possibilities and travel, why it's so important for C-level managers, and why do they invest a lot of time, effort, and money into improving their English. We're also going to talk about mindset and the importance of modifying your mindset so that you're more opportunity focused. We'll speak about how long it takes to actually progress up the ladder of English competence, as well as some very nice quotations which are relevant to the theme of the talk. And then we'll finish with some questions for anybody who has any questions to ask. So, first and foremost, let me introduce a little bit about what I currently do. Currently, I work specifically with C-level management, so company CEOs, company directors. I support their English language practice and improvement with a fusion of coaching, English language, and communication. So I always use the analogy, English language is the tool, communication is how you actually use and apply that tool strategically and effectively for the purpose that it is required for. In addition, I work as a teacher trainer. So I work with UK-based vocational skills teacher trainees to help them get through their qualifications, as well as teachers within the bilingual system in Spain. Alongside this, I am currently doing a PhD. The purpose of my research is to improve bilingual teacher training and formation. The overall objective is to increase the level of teacher competency to improve teaching outcomes for their students in the bilingual system. And finally, I also provide consultation for anybody who would like to create an online language business. So I have a lot of experience in this area, and I also mentor aspiring online teachers as well. So let's progress. First of all, congratulations. You're already bilingual. Many of you, as Theo said, Aymara is the native language. So if you are able to communicate in Aymaran or Quechua and Spanish, learning English is going to be a much easier process for you. Can I just ask everybody to put your microphones on mute, please, just to make sure that everybody can hear the presentation? Thank you. So if you already speak Quechua or Aymara and Spanish, learning a third language should be much easier for you. Here we have an image of a Bolivian lady selling fantastic and beautiful Bolivian products. I'm sure she speaks Aymara and Quechuan as well as Spanish. Do we think she also speaks English? At least a little bit. Do we think if she speaks a little bit of English, she could sell more products to extranjeros or foreigners or tourists just like me, who like the Bolivian products, the jumpers, the t-shirts, the hats, etc.? I think the process would be much easier. And in my experience and observations, interestingly, many do. Rubin Kespi, a former student of your university, I think is a perfect example and ambassador of why people need to focus on improving their level of English. I came across this video. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds long. And I think it's appropriate that we listen to it together because he speaks in 3 languages in his presentation. So let's listen to Ruben.
Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias. Paisuma, Hila, Huilapanaka, Comraki, Tataministro, Maruso. Quisiera dirigirme también en la lengua, en una de las lenguas oficiales que es el Aymara, Hilanak, Yakanaka, Hichuruja, Walikus Iscaño Ruan, Punak. Hamin Naya Saparuk Ayakistaki, Akabisi Ministrama. Hamin Naya Sabaka Kansai Atati, Hamsastin, Mauta, Maayo. También decimos que Bolivia tiene que trascender al mundo. Entonces necesitamos aprender las lenguas extranjeras. And so let me try to a little bit to speak in English. And so as Bolivian, as Aymara people. And so today it's a big challenge in order to work, to promote according to variety of realities in this country. And so we have been living in different conditions, in different situations, especially young people who are studying and working. That's the real condition. And so sometimes some university students finish their careers, and so after that they don't find any job. And so the big challenge is how to propose new policies from this side. Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias. Paisuma, Hila, Huilapanaka, Comraki, Tataministro, Maruso Balcuni, Juspadartisman. Tagaya, Hilanaka,
An inspiration, an inspiring speech. So from Aymaran, Spanish and English, looking at policy change, looking at the future, looking at how the youth who are working and who are studying need to embrace learning foreign languages to improve their future and their future professional opportunities. I think this was a great example, an ambassador of language learning from your university. So, why English and why now? Let me ask you this conditional question. If you woke up tomorrow completely fluent in English, what new jobs would be possible for you? If you would like to study in a foreign country, what would you like to study? Where would you like to study? Who could you work with, or who could you do business with? By having a competence in the English language, are you able to apply for job opportunities in Europe, in North America, in other parts of the globe? I think everybody will answer yes to this question. How many people globally do you think speak English? And how many countries or territories use English as their official language? Can you write it into the chat for me? So how many people globally do you think speak English? How many countries or territories use English as their official language? Write the numbers into the chat for me, if you can. I don't see too many numbers. Don't worry. I've done the research for you. All the countries speak English. Maybe. Around 1.5 billion people speak English worldwide. 1.5 billion people. That includes both native and non-native. So imagine speaking both Spanish and English, the number increases to a much greater range. It's the official language in around 75 countries and territories. And I'm sure you know, it's the language of business, technology, and science. And more than 50% of all internet websites and domains also use English. That means that we don't need to speak every language in the world. The bridge that connects people internationally in business and science, the ideas, the markets, is connected through the English language. It is the global bridge. If you are a business person from Japan who has to travel to Europe and sit at the table with somebody from Germany and Denmark and England and Poland, the common language, the modern day lingua franca, will be English. It's the language of international business. So all multinational corporations use English as by default. International NGOs and institutions, global projects, specifically in IT and energy, finance and consulting, they all use English as their medium of communication for global success and global communication and networking. It is the default language for international meeting, cross-border and email negotiation. And if you're a manager for an international company managing remote teams or multinational teams, English is the medium of communication. So there is no escaping English as the tool that we all need. The more we read, the more we review the impact of languages and its connection with business, personal and professional progression and success. Better English at a national level is linked to stronger economies. It is linked to more innovation and more connection with the world. Why? It allows you to do business internationally, to send emails, to organize appointments, to speak to the right people, to agree contracts, to negotiate contracts. At an individual level, it means better job opportunities and better pay. Imagine, as a Bolivian citizen living here in La Paz, working for a European or North American company on a European or North American salary, able to work remotely and enjoy that salary in a Bolivian economy. I think we can all agree that's a very attractive proposition. How can we achieve that? Being able to function using the English language. Now, it is important to note, English does not guarantee success for anybody in a job, but in many sectors, not having English closes the doors before you even knock. There is more than the language which is relevant, but if you don't have the language, if you don't have the level of English necessary, the door does not open. So it is important to recognize that. Let's think about the Bolivian context. What are the biggest international sectors in Bolivia? So sectors and international companies. Again, please write it into the chat. Which international sectors operate here in Bolivia? And feel free to name any international companies that operate here in Bolivia. Please write it into the chat. Let me help you with one example. International sector might be energy, gas. Which companies work with gas in Bolivia? Do we have any examples? No. Samsung. Okay, let me help you. These are just some examples. Use gas for running the health system, energy field. So here are some examples of companies which operate in Bolivia. These are only a small number. There's approximately between 150 to 250 international companies operating in Bolivia. We don't have these specific statistics noted to easily find, but it's in the range of 150 to 250 international companies. So we've got global companies and local opportunities. Let's take a look. The top 10 international sectors in Bolivia. So we've got hydrocarbons, we've got supplies, Brazil and Argentina. So we've got key players here from the Bolivian state, Repsol in Spain, Petrobras in Brazil, or Gazprom in Russia. Mining, of course, the world's largest reserves of lithium. We've got zinc and silver and tin and lead. Countries which have a big interest is Germany, the United States, Russia, China, of course. You've got agriculture, soya beans, quinoa, Brazil nuts, very delicious Bolivian coffee. And quite interestingly, quinoa. Quinoa, in my observations, is a product which is underrepresented in the European market. A lot of quinoa has the Peruvian stamp on it and not the Bolivian stamp. Why? Are there opportunities for more exportations of quinoa to Europe, North America, and other countries? Can English be the medium of communication to be able to secure contracts so that supermarkets and health stores and restaurants can start to represent Bolivian quinoa on their shelves? We've got telecommunications, Telefónica Spain. We've got America Mobile. So telecommunications is also something quite large. We've got companies in Spain which outsource their customer service to countries like Colombia. Do we have outsourcing from Spain or other European countries to Bolivia? If you're able to communicate in more than Spanish, does that increase the interest? Does that increase the possibilities for more business to be secured here, for more employment to be provided for Bolivian locals? We've got renewable energy, so solar and wind. We've got financial services, BBVA. We've got ProCredit, Germany. We've got interest from Spain, again, the United States, Argentina, transportation, logistics, food and beverage. And we also have infrastructure and tourism. Salar de Uyuni, what a beautiful location. Is it sufficiently developed for tourism? If we communicate more in English, is it possible that we can modify, improve the facilities to encourage more tourism directly to the Salar de Uyuni, to bring more people from Europe and North America and China and other countries to visit this wonder of the world? It is also important to note other emerging sectors in healthcare and pharmaceuticals, information technology, textiles. So I think we can all agree there is a world of interest in Bolivia and a world of opportunity within all of these sectors and the industries and the companies which station themselves here. Repsol, for example, has long-term investments, projects planned up until 2046. So they have visions for more than the next 20 years. The same with Total Energies, Petrobras, and New China funded industrial projects. The new plant expected to create an initial employment pool of 700 jobs with a later reach of 1,000. So there are opportunities for people to take advantage of. All of these companies bring international teams. They bring foreign managers and cross-border projects. What about managers from Bolivia who are able to communicate in 3 languages? English is often the working language of negotiations, technical meetings, and reporting. By not communicating or speaking in English excludes you from the possibilities. By communicating in English gives you the opportunities. So many Bolivian people and citizens who do not speak English are losing opportunities to work remotely for companies in the United States, in Europe, in Canada. Again, imagine as a computer programmer, living here in La Paz, been able to have a contract with a Danish company, working online, earning a salary which is relevant to the Danish economy. I think life could be fantastic in that respect. And when we look at all of the jobs boards on Indeed, for example, common requirements are normally proficient in Spanish and in English, good or excellent English level. Let's not forget about study and scholarships and academic growth. Being able to communicate and express yourself in the English language opens doors and opportunities for you to access international master's degrees and PhD programs. Scholarships become available. And not only that, but you can access many open source course providers and courses, for example, in Udemy or Coursera or edX, etc. Most of these courses are in English. So to be able to understand these courses, English gives you the edge. The reality is most cutting edge research and many of the best programs are in English and at English speaking universities. So if it is limited, your academic world is smaller. If you're more proficient, then your academic world suddenly becomes more expanded. Networking, travel. If you have the opportunity to travel, English is essential. You're able to attend international conferences and participate, not just listen. If you work for an international company, you'll have the opportunity for attending international conferences and congresses. And by communicating in English, you're not limited to listening. You're empowered to participate, to share your opinion, to ask questions, to debate, to argue, to build new connections with new people. You can build a global LinkedIn network and communicate confidently. You can represent your organization, both abroad as well as regionally. You can volunteer, you can travel, you can collaborate, and you can do all of this with freedom and not fear. A nice quotation. English is often the difference between being in the room and being at the table. So by being able to communicate in Spanish and in English brings you to many corporate tables. What does this mean for C-level managers? As I told you at the beginning, I work with company directors, C-level management. C-level managers invest in their language practice and development each week. It's part of their working routine. It's like going to the gym. They don't do it once. They do it consistently with discipline. They prepare for board meetings. They prepare for investor calls, negotiations, sales, They prepare so that they feel confident in their communication and they don't feel embarrassed when they travel and they have to speak. They need English to be able to lead international teams, to speak to shareholders. You go to a board of directors or a meeting with shareholders, they communicate in English. What does this communicate to us? It communicates if executives with 20 plus years of experience are still investing in their English, it says a lot. It means English is not just for students. It's a lifelong professional tool. The earlier you start, the less you must catch up later. So start today. And who might you be in 2 to 3 years? What opportunities will open for you? This brings us to our mindset. A beautiful quotation from Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. Nobody's going to argue. You decide. I can learn it. I can't learn it. I have time. I don't have time. It is your choice. It is your decision. Nobody starts fluent in any language. Progress comes from consistent, small steps, not perfection. We don't need to be perfect in the language. Very few native Spanish speakers or native English speakers or native in any language communicate perfectly in their language, unless maybe they study philology or linguistics. So it's okay to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. English as a language is your professional capital, just like a degree certificate, just like a skill. It's essential. So if your level today is not very high, this does not define your level of English in 2 to 3 years. So by creating a plan today, starting today, think about who you might be in the next 2 to 3 years. So how long does it actually take to progress in English? Do I need to study for 10 years? Well, it's essentially part of your lifestyle. Just like exercising, just like going to the gym, you have to do it regularly. But we do have some numbers. According to the CEFR scale, A1 to C2, you generally need a specific amount of hours of practice to move up a level. So 100 to 200 guided learning hours is the kind of average per level. Of course, this depends on the person. This depends on your commitment. This depends on your motivation, your discipline. When you start at A1, you move quite fast to A2, B1 level. To move from B1 to B2, it's normally around about 200 hours of practice. And of course, we can see it's a little bit more to reach B2, C1, and then to mastery C2 proficiency level. So this might look overwhelming, frightening. I don't have that amount of time. I can't study for 200 hours. Well, let's see. Let's do the numbers. Everybody has 24 hours per day. That's 168 hours per week. Each individual, if you're lucky enough to have it, has 168 hours per week. The average person spends 4 to 6 hours per day on their smartphone, or on average 7 hours per week watching television and TV series. So to obtain 200 hours of English in 1 year or 12 months, that's approximately 4 hours per week or 33 minutes of practice per day. So when we say, I don't have time, we have to think, how many hours do we spend on our smartphone per day? How many hours are we watching television per day? And if you are watching television or you are spending more than 4 hours per day on your smartphone, can we integrate English language learning into the same? Can we listen to our series and movies in original version? Can we do some activities like reading or listening or grammar activities with our phone? The question is, how motivated are you? Could you double your commitment and move from a B1 level to a C1 level in 1 year? Do you think it's possible? It is possible if you take action. What do I mean by action? The first point is to understand your current level. So complete a level test to know your level. Then you need a goal. By January 2027, would you like to complete the IELTS? Would you like to have a B1, B2, or C1 certificate? If yes, then we need a plan. What's your structure? Will it be self-study? Will it be a structured course at your university? Will it be a mixture of self-study and a guided learning course? If it's a self-study plan, aim for 1 hour per day. 1 hour per day is practically 30 hours per month across all of the skills: reading, listening, grammar, vocabulary, use of English, and speaking. We can increase this by joining conversation clubs. La Paz is a big city. I'm sure you have language meetup clubs. You can watch your movies in original version, use social media like TikTok and YouTube. And now you have the opportunity of artificial intelligence that you can have a conversation with ChatGPT or GPT. So if you don't have somebody to speak to, utilize the tools that you have. Use the artificial intelligence to help you with your practice. So, what will you decide? Today, in this presentation, I present you with a choice: to stay comfortable, to find excuses, to master the phrase, "Oh, I don't speak English. It's too difficult. I don't have time. I feel shy speaking in English. I don't have the confidence to express myself. It's not that easy for Bolivians like me." Or do we change our mindset and step outside our comfort zone? Do we write down clear objectives, a clear plan for your English progression? Do we look for opportunities and not excuses? Do we work in improving your mindset? I am a confident speaker in English. Why? Because I practice every day. I have the education. I have the commitment, the determination, the motivation, and the discipline, and the will to improve my world and achieve better opportunities, both nationally and globally. English is the key. Turn the key and you unlock the door to opportunities. There's some inspirational quotations which I personally feel are quite relevant to this presentation. The limits of my language mean the limits of my world. So if I expand my language, how do I expand my world? My world is both my internal world and my external world. You can have fantastic ideas or brilliant ideas, but if you can't express them, if you can't get them across, your ideas won't get you anywhere. And I'm sure we all have fantastic ideas. Can we express them? Can we express them to the right people? Is our ability to express our ideas limiting us or empowering us? And the final quotation is, one language sets you in a corridor for life. Two languages open every door along the way. For Frank Smith, they open every door along the way, every door of opportunity. On this slide, I've presented 5 resources which can help you with your self-study. You've got the BBC website and application, which has lots of information about culture and guided exercises on listening and reading. We've got Test English, which is self-correctable, covers grammar and vocabulary. Thinking in English across a wide range of topics. So we're not just learning the language, we're expanding our knowledge through the language. And then at the very end, we've got our track test to show you how you actually measure the different levels. How you measure the different levels. So this brings us to the end of our presentation, a little bit shorter than planned, but I think sufficient. I would now like to give you the opportunity to ask me any questions, anything that you would like to know, anything that I could potentially help you with or clarify or support for you. And maybe, Theo, you can modulate this as well for me. Okay, Isabel, we have your hand raised in the chat. Would you like to ask me a question?
Good evening, Doctor. I would like please ask you if you can share those links that you show us, please, so we can visit the links and practice, please. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think what I can do is I can maybe share with Theo, and Theo can share to you through the channel that they shared the Zoom link. Is that possible?
Yeah, that's okay. And also maybe by WhatsApp, she can share us then.
Perfect. Perfect. Absolutely. Okay.
Professor, good evening.
Good evening.
I got a question. What advice can you give us to improve our pronunciation? As you know, in La Paz, in El Alto, we speak Spanish, yes, but sometimes we mix with some sounds that come from Aymara. Have you heard of Aymara, you know? And
Of course.
yeah, sometimes we used to mix them, and for Aymara learners, it's a little bit difficult to learn the sounds of English and put them into practice and be understood when they speak. So, taking this into account, what advice can you give us, especially for teachers and then for students? Thank you.
Pronunciation is always a pain point. People feel very nervous about how they sound when they communicate. People feel embarrassed with their pronunciation. So there are different techniques. One technique is called the modeling technique, where we listen to a phrase and we repeat the phrase. We listen to the phrase, we repeat the phrase. We can also use artificial intelligence to help us with this. So with ChatGPT, for example, we can practice our speaking and it can also give you feedback on the pronunciation. Something that helps with pronunciation is relaxed contractions. For example, can I have a coffee? If I say that in a very relaxed way, as can I have a coffee? Can I have a coffee? Or if I ask you, do you want a coffee? Do you want a coffee? If I relax it, it becomes, do you want a coffee? Do you want a coffee? Much more natural, much more the American style of communicating in English. So if we look at pronouncing each individual word, then there are more opportunities to make pronunciation errors. If we practice the relaxation, the relaxed contraction, it makes it sound a lot more natural in our expression. However, it is also important to receive feedback from, if your teachers have a good level of pronunciation in English, they can also help you with the phonetics of the sounds. Listening to your favorite series and podcasts and pausing and repeating, recording yourself, listening to yourself, self-evaluating, reflecting, trying again, practice, practice, practice. There is no magic formula. All of these techniques used together and used consistently can help you improve your pronunciation over time. However, I would encourage you not to be limited by your perception of pronunciation, because your ability to communicate, even if your pronunciation is not perfect, you're still able to express yourself and be understood. So focus on expressing yourself to be understood, and you will improve your pronunciation with time and with regular practice. Does that help to answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, do we
Good
have any other
evening.
questions? Hello.
Yeah. Good evening, Professor
Good
Paul,
evening.
Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
I have a question just related with pronunciation. You know
Mhm.
that British English a little different, they pronounce a little different, and in that situation, my student told me that it's a little different. They say that is I don't like the British English and I prefer American ones. What do you think is the most important for them to teach just American how to pronounce American English, or just also it's important to teach them the English, the British English pronunciation? I had this situation in my class, but I don't know how to do.
I love the question when a student asks me, Paul, I want to speak with a British accent. I always ask them which part of Britain, because there is not one accent in Britain. There are many accents. So if we think of the BBC accent, the official news accent, then that's a very specific type of communication. But if I say Manchester, Newcastle, Belfast, for example, where I come from, Republic of Ireland. So there are many different regional accents, and it is the same in the United States. There is not one accent or pronunciation. So it's important to understand the difference between accent and pronunciation also. It's okay to speak English with your accent. You don't need to change your accent. You don't need to sound like me. You don't need to sound like somebody from the United States or Canada or London. The important thing is, and this is in the course books of Cambridge, is to be exposed to different accents from different regions. This way, it's like the muscle, it's modifying the muscles of your ears that you're able to understand different accents. If you do business with somebody from Japan, somebody from China, somebody from Germany, somebody from Lithuania, somebody from Poland, all of their accents are going to be very different. So it is okay to maintain your accent, follow the linguistical formats of pronunciation, practice the relaxed contractions like I have mentioned, but don't limit yourself to one particular style. Does that make sense, Jenny?
Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions they would like to ask? Would anybody like to ask any questions about professional application of English, opportunities for studying abroad, opportunities for working abroad? talk about your ambitions, why language is maybe important for you.
Yes, maybe I will ask for an advice, something like that. Well, I understand that English improve a lot to our opportunities to get a job working remotely. But there is a lot of, well, there are a lot of websites offering that kind of jobs. But how we can know which ones are the ones that can work for us? Maybe you have an advice or you know something about it, please.
What's your name?
I am Isabel.
Isabel.
Yes.
Isabel, when you look for jobs online, are you looking in Europe? Are you looking in the United States? Which type of, give me an example.
Well, actually, I didn't look for that, but I check a lot of websites offering jobs like working remotely. But sometimes actually, I cannot trust on them, so I don't know how we can choose or check. I don't know.
Well, depending on the country, because of course there are lots of fake jobs. This affects everybody, not just yourself. In Bolivia, it affects people in Ireland and people in the UK as well. It is important that we are cautious with our applications, sending our information, our data. The reputable websites are normally Indeed.com. And Indeed.com operates a jobs board globally. I think also you have Glassdoor and you've got other websites as well. People can also contact companies directly. So it's not only jobs boards. You can think of which company, for example, Repsol, go to their website and go to their jobs at the bottom of their website. It could be in hotels, it could be in energy sector, IT sector, and also reach out to companies proactively. We don't always have to wait till we see a job to apply to a job. We can proactively present ourselves. None of these companies know you. You need to present yourself to them. And it's okay if 20 companies say no. You can knock 100 doors. All you need is one person to say yes. It's sales. The more doors you knock, the more possibilities there will be for you. And another opportunity is create your own business. Create your own online business. If you communicate in English, how can you use that as a tool to create your own business? Can you mentor students? Can you offer any type of services for companies which already exist in Bolivia? You maybe don't have a high level of English. Can you offer them the opportunity to review their emails, network on their behalf, do their social media, write their blog, modify their website? So, what opportunities can you create which can solve a problem for a business that you can proactively go and present yourself as the solution to a problem? Does that make sense, Isabel?
Yes, of course. Yes, thanks so much for your advice.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions? What I would like to do is to also offer you the opportunity to connect with me via LinkedIn. So here you have the link to my LinkedIn. So you're more than welcome to connect with me. And if you do have any questions or any doubts, you're more than welcome to send me a message. If you don't have LinkedIn, I encourage you to create a free account and create your own professional profile. This is your professional profile and representation of yourself. Once you do that, you can start networking with other people. And Isabel, jobs might come to you. People who like your skills, who like your profile, who like your services can contact you and offer you opportunities also. So I also recommend investing your time in creating your profile, not just in Spanish, but in English. Create it as a bilingual or even a trilingual representation.
Okay, I heard about it, but I never tried, but I will do it. Thank you so much.
Highly recommend it. Every possible tool that you can use to increase your opportunities nationally and globally will expand your possibilities and opportunities. So, if we don't have any further questions, I would like to thank everybody for their participation. I hope it was useful for you. I hope everybody understood me okay and my accent was understandable. English really does open opportunities for people. So, like I've communicated, create your plan, create your objective, keep your mindset positive and opportunity focused, and set yourself a target. Who will you be in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? The journey is only your journey. So today, you've got some valuable information. Professionally, you have a lot of opportunities ahead of you here in your beautiful country of Bolivia. So, taking the opportunity again to thank you. And if we don't have any further questions, I will hand you back over to Teo.
Well, I would like to ask something. It's not related to the topic today, but I would like to know, is it the accent or the way that you speak, or or you are trying to speak a little bit slowly for us, maybe to understand you?
I'm speaking a little bit slowly just to make sure that everybody understands me because I don't know everybody's level. You could be A2 to C1. So I've just reduced the speed of my speaking a little bit to be more inclusive, to make sure everybody has an opportunity to understand me.
Well, thank you so much. It's
You're
just a
very
question
welcome.
because I want to know, yeah, how the people speak them there. That
W-
was my
Would you
question.
like me to show you how I sound at my normal pace?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Yes.
please. Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here today in La Paz. Thank you very much to everybody. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to present all of this information to you. I hope it was very valuable. I hope that you will go away today with some useful information that you will be able to apply to your professional lives and to your personal lives as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
You're,
much.
you're very welcome.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're welcome. Okay. So I'll hand you back over to Teo. Guys, thank you again for your participation. Have a fantastic evening and best of luck for your future with your English language learning.
Thank you. We will write you by LinkedIn.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Maybe meanwhile, I can ask you, have you visited the touristic places in La Paz?
This is not my first time in La Paz. I visited different locations previously. A few years ago, Salar de Uyuni. I visited Salar de Uyuni and Potosí. And of course, the main attractions in La Paz, including Moon Valley, It's a very beautiful location, very rich location. It's just sometimes it's difficult for me as a European to breathe at this altitude. Yeah, sometimes it's a challenge, but I love the character of La Paz. I follow lots of TikToks of recommendations of coffees and restaurants and the gastronomy in La Paz as well. Really, really delicious, really, really beautiful.
Oh, yes, and well, one of the characteristics of our city is the cable cars. Have you used it?
Of course, yeah, I've used it many times, many times. Some parts are quite high, some parts are quite frightening. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Were the cable cars constructed by Bolivian engineers?
I don't think so. Was a international company, but I don't remember which one was it.
So
They were
there's another perfect example, right?
Yes.
So, guys, thank you very much. I'm going to disconnect now. So, again, it's been a pleasure. I wish you all a very relaxing evening and a productive day tomorrow with your new ambitions for improving your English. You're welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. Any further questions professionally or any advice regarding language learning, you're welcome to reach out to me. Okay. So, have a really nice evening to you all. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye bye, Professor. Thank you.